Hippie Chick Apiary and Beekeeping with Disabilities and More presents the TCBA 2022 Annual Spring Workshop, March 4th through 5th, 2022 in Wooster, Ohio. There was 504 registrants, plus walk-ins, and 23 registered vendors who all came together for a weekend of fun, learning, and celebration of one of nature's favorite pollinators, the honeybees. Off we go. We left Virginia March 3rd, 2022 at about 9 a.m. in an excited journey of about 6.5 hours to get to Wooster, Ohio and vend our children's books and learn about honeybees from like-minded people such as ourselves. We were blessed to have an uneventful trip as there was no traffic and arrived safely in Wooster, Ohio 6.5 hours later after leaving from Virginia. Because the GPS took us a different route, we were able to see highways and scenery that we have never seen before, such as this tunnel that put us out on the Pennsylvania Turnpike next to an exit that led us to Pittsburgh, which I personally have never been to. The weather was different. It was a nice 70 degrees in Culpeper, Virginia, and a cold 31 degrees with frozen rivers in Ohio when we finally crossed the Ohio state border. It was amazing where our journey took us and how we came close to signs for New York City that we do not see in Virginia. When it was time to stop for lunch in Austintown, Ohio, we decided to stop at Cracker Barrel, one of our favorite traveling destinations. We enjoy Cracker Barrel for their cleanliness, their assortment of good food, and their proximity to the highways. One of my other favorite things about Cracker Barrel is their support of local colleges by setting a stand of merchandise within their store. Obviously, because we were in Ohio State was all over the merchandise stand for the local college. They had things from shot glasses to glasses to onesies and welcome signs from Ohio State, as well as flags. I enjoyed looking at the merchandise and seeing how they support their local school, as well as seeing the Buckeyes, which is a treat from Ohio. This is the hippie chick herself. She was looking at books for my niece and nephew that had a honeybee page within it, fitting for our travels. After about an hour and a half after leaving Austintown, we started seeing signs for Wooster, Ohio. And while we were tired, we were excited to start our journey at the conference. We were still amazed at the amount of snow left on the ground and decided to share it with you since we did not have it in Virginia when we left. The sky was beautiful, the atmosphere was beautiful, and the people were friendly so far. We started seeing more signs for Wooster and knew we were getting closer. When we arrived in Wooster, we stopped first at the Hilton Garden Inn, right across from where the conference was going to be held. We decided to check in, unload our bags, and stretch our legs before we thought about what we were going to do for dinner. It was a beautiful hotel, and while we usually stay at Marriott's, it was a nice, pleasing change of scenery from our usual hotel chain. The hippie chick had to do most of the unloading due to my limitations and how my legs were struggling after our long trip. The next day, on Friday the 4th, we were supposed to check in at 2 p.m. to start unloading, and it was held at the Ohio Agricultural Research Center in the Fisher Auditorium. While an older building, it was still well put together and offered plenty of space for vendors and registrants alike. we decided to place an ad in the program highlighting the Henry Meets a Honeybee book and how it was reviewed in the Bee Culture magazine and under review by the American Bee Journal. You can order this from us at www.hippiechicapiary.com. I could have never put this display together by myself. It is the brainchild of Hippie Chick herself. We had business cards supporting her and everything that she is doing, as well as ourselves. We supported our YouTube channel, and our patronage goes to support kids' education on honeybees. We displayed our books to try to grab attention of anyone walking by. We had honeybee pendants and lip balm of all flavors, from Bavarian cream to cake batter to chocolate pie, and unfortunately the one that everybody wanted we were out of, which was vanilla. We were blessed to have Castle Hives supply us with a 3D printed mock hive with removable frames, and you can find him at Etsy. Henry Meets a Honeybee has been out since October and has been sold internationally and supported by people all around the world. By the end of the day, my hand was tired from signing, but I just have to tell everyone, be different. We were in the Schishler Auditorium where they had additional vendors, and while it was not the main auditorium, the spacing allowed us to have communication with our customers instead of being swamped in the main auditorium as you see here. There were many vendors from local apiaries and major distributors such as Man Lake and The Dant and Blue Sky. Everyone did a fantastic job setting up their displays and educating the newbies and old generation on new products that have come out. There was a very high population of Amish there, and their natural woodworking beehives and swarm traps, as well as observation hives, were amazingly put together and smelled amazing with the fresh wood. There was a hot lunch served by the Amish here in the cafeteria that was amazing, and I definitely look forward to it on the next trip back to Wooster, Ohio next year. The vendors were all very nice and knowledgeable and were offering good deals on products that could help jumpstart your apiary or your commercial business. I had the pleasure of talking to Blue Sky about some of their products, and I'm excited to look for them in the future. They had bee apothecary books, and I was super excited to meet someone who did a review of my book in the Bee Culture magazine, Kim Floden. There was no shortage to the amount of bee products, apiary hardware, and books that you could have gotten at this conference. After talking to Kim Floden, I returned back to our vending booth table and got to see a couple of the other vendors and their hardware and paraphernalia that we did not get to see before. Since I was in a wheelchair, everyone was nice and helped me when I needed help, and a few times I got stuck by the doors. This was a great conference put on by the Tri-County Beekeepers Association, and I suggest that anyone who has a chance to travel to it do so next year. This is just showing you a ramp that we had to go down in the beautiful pictures that they have lining it that support their look in agriculture and research. I hope you enjoy it. When I finally got back to where our booth was, I got excited to meet with Cutler Bee Supply, who was also at the Hive Life conference in Tennessee in January. We became good friends and enjoyed talking to them as we were booth neighbors in this conference. We were on the road again, heading back towards Virginia, first to stop at lunch in Austintown, Ohio, with Castle Hives and his wife. It was a beautiful day, and after a couple days of 70 degrees in Ohio, the majority of the snow has melted. The highway was clear, and we predicted no troubles getting home. We started to see signs for Baltimore and Washington, D.C., and finally made it into Maryland. The Hives for Heroes conference supporting veterans was this weekend, and we are sad that we missed it. We finally made it home after 6.5 hours of driving and pulled into our street. The conference was a fantastic experience for vendors and registrants alike. I got to meet a lot of new people and make some connections that will be with me for a lifetime. We definitely enjoyed our time at the conference, and we suggest that anyone who has the time next year to go to the Tri-County Beekeepers Association Spring Workshop plans to go for the vendors, for the knowledge that you get from the talks, and just to be around people who are like-minded. As Hippie Chick always says, we are a tribe, and together we can support the honeybees, one of nature's favorite pollinators. Be different, be limitless, and no matter what you are going through, know that beekeeping is for you, and you can be a part of this tribe as well. There are so many people out there willing to support those that struggle and those that want to begin, and together we can make beekeeping a better place and the world a better place through beekeeping. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed our journey. Please message us for any comments and concerns about the conference, and we would love to discuss it. Good night.